Okay, you're live. You're on.
Awesome.
We're live again.
Well, happy Sunday, everybody.
Wow!
For those who don't know,
All the people.
I'm Candy Strahan, Senior Ruby Ambassador.
Oh, I'm David Strahan. I'm a Senior Gold Ambassador. How y'all doing?
And we are so excited to share with y'all tonight. We asked Aaron to be a special guest on our Sunday inspirational calls for our team. We do them every Sunday night. We usually do them a little bit later because we're Central Time, but we did it a little bit earlier this evening because I know y'all are an hour ahead of us. And
I'm a baby, and I'm like,
and somebody goes to bed with the chickens.
Yeah. But, we always like to just kick off our week, get geared up for Monday and the rest of the week, and just build our team and pour into them with positivity and just success stories and just good vibes, prayer, and everything that we can to just for them to have a great week and just blow it out of the water. So,
and not only is it the first day of the week, it's the first day of a new month.
I was going to say that.
It's like we're seriously, like, if you got anything negative going on with you right now, then no. I'm just going to say no. Don't. No. That's the only negative you're going to hear. Stop it. Because
I didn't realize you were Senior Ruby. Will we be seeing you in Hawaii?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm claiming it. Yes.
Claim it. Own it.
Yeah, we finished really strong this month, or April, and we are hitting the ground running this month.
Love it.
We're just going to push, and hopefully this is my 3-year anniversary month, so I'm
girl,
big.
It is worth every ounce of every second of sleep you lose. That trip is worth it.
I'm just saying, because y'all need to hang out with me. I mean, I need to hang out with y'all. And
right.
I'm
New York in the house.
It don't matter. We got to go.
Yes, I cannot wait.
So, anyway,
I guess we get to start first.
We're going to ask questions first, even though she's hosting it because, you know.
It's just like you, Paul. You're hosting it.
We're going to ask questions. We're just going to. Well, we're going to go for it. What's going to happen? Y'all tell me what's happening. I'm just kind of sitting here.
You guys can do whatever you want. It's your weekly call.
She just gave me free reign.
Well, I think we're supposed to share our story.
Nobody wants to hear that. Well,
I do, because here's why. David's pictures, before and after pictures, are one of the first pictures that we kind of all saw when we were coming into Plexus 2 years ago, or not everyone's been around 2 years, but it was one of those really like, whoa, this is pretty serious stuff, and that testimony. So why don't you share a little bit of your story? Because I don't know if everyone on my team knows you, and both of you, and both of your stories.
Why are you laughing?
I think a lot of people, kind of like you, was taken by surprise because when we came into the company, it was mainly women driven.
There wasn't very many men.
So, now we have a lot more ambassadors and this guy movement going on. And
I feel very inadequate
muscle
now.
guys. So
those guys are
I think that's why a lot of people,
God looking.
A lot of people seen his picture, not only, it is an amazing testimony because we live it every day, but
yes,
just seeing a guy emerging from this pink revolution that was going on was just a reason why a lot of people paid attention to his picture. But I
always thought it was because of the Dr. Pepper and the Superman shirt.
That's what everybody said, from Dr. Pepper to Superman. But no, we got started, like I said, May 2013. I have never really been involved with MLM network marketing or anything like that.
And I definitely wasn't.
Down here, you're gonna have to not interrupt me because I have a one-track mind. So you'll get your turn.
Yeah, she keeps hitting my leg.
I'm bossy. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'll hush.
So, anyways, down here in the South, I don't know about up there, but we're very much like telemarketers, door-to-door salesmen, network marketers. Those were all things that were just like, that's a job you don't want.
Of the devil.
Like, you would rather be a trash collector or like clean toilets for a living than to do something like that. So it was not really an honest living. It was something that just irritated people. So I already kind of had a prejudice against it, and I didn't even know anything about it. Mm-hmm. But I was
so
lucky to be able to be a stay-at-home mom from the time that we got married. We married young, 18, 20 years old. We didn't have kids for 5 years, so it was just us. But I was able to be a stay-at-home mom when we had our first son. And then he always was the breadwinner. He worked in the gas and oil industry, and that was what caused his injury and led to us starting Plexus and getting to that desperation moment. But, before Plexus, that's all I did was a stay-home mom. When he was injured and put on long-term disability, I was baking cakes, had a little cake business out of the home so that way I could make a little bit extra, still be with the kids. I was doing photography, weddings, newborns, you name it, I didn't care. And I charged really cheap prices because, again, it was something that I could just set hours and go do a shoot and come back home, still be with the kids, still take care of him, things like that. And then when things started getting really bad, I went into cosmetology school because I knew I could get a technical license within 9 months, and that would still be something that I could make my own hours. Which was really important because I just wanted to be able to be with my kids as much as possible. I didn't want to pay somebody else to raise them. So Plexus had actually been introduced to me a year before I looked at it. I had a lady that she baked cakes, and we knew of each other that I seen posting about it, but I didn't contact her, didn't reach out to her or anything like that. I just kept on scrolling. A year later, my sponsor who I signed under, actually, it was one of our photography clients. She contacted me. Her husband and David went to high school together and were pretty good friends, and they had heard of us through the grapevine, and she messaged and was like, hey, are you available to do our wedding photos? And we become Facebook friends, started talking. She's seen that I was doing another shake weight loss program.
I'll get into that. I'll let y'all know all about that here.
Just to lose weight. I was not a distributor or anything. I had done It Works wraps before that just for a brief period of time, and it didn't work. So hope I didn't offend anybody, but it's just the truth. But so I had a bad opinion of it, but then after my one little dabble into network marketing, I was just done. So whenever she approached me about it, I was very skeptical, very leery, because I didn't want to waste money. I didn't want to be involved with something like that. I didn't even tell him about it. And she was like, look, I know you're trying to lose weight and it can help you do that, but, I see that your husband has a lot of pain issues and everything else. So look, I'm going to add you to a testimonial group and just look at the testimonies. So I started researching, started looking at the testimonials, seeing pain as a reoccurring issue, something that people were having, their symptoms, weren't so severe and things like that. So 3 days later I joined, and I still didn't tell him at that point because I knew what he was going to say. I took borrowed electric bill money. We had borrowed about $900 just to get us through a couple of months.
She's sugarcoating it right now.
To to sign up, because I knew at this point, we were so broke. We were hiding the one car that we had. I couldn't afford to go back and forth to school. Paying bills was not an option, but we didn't have the money to do it. So I took and I bought my welcome pack, and I just figured, we're in a bind anyways. This $133 is not going to make that big of a difference. So best case scenario, it does help him, and he's able to get back to work. That was my whole goal for signing up. And little did we know what all was
going to happen. I think it's time for me to actually tell the true story.
So
Turn
bad.
the eyes of me.
Sure, go ahead. But that's how we got started. And I got to say this one last part before you start.
Oh, crud.
When it comes to skeptical, upset, not understanding husbands, I hear that a lot with women in Plexus. Now, he was not very verbal about it. He's more one of those silent.
I wasn't verbal at all.
Silent, aggravated people. It was just like his whole thing was, I'm going to prove you wrong. This is not going to work. This is not going to do anything for me. Literally what he said. On top of, the money that I spent. But I told him, I was like, we've spent way more on stupider things. So, what do we got to lose?
Right.
Worst case scenario.
And I said our lights. Because that was borrowed electric bill money. That's what we had to lose. Air conditioning.
Oh, you need that in Texas.
Yes, we do.
True.
Year round.
But I stepped out on a limb. I had just enough faith to know that I felt like God had led me to the opportunity, and that, it's funny because the other day I shared how you got the time hop. I shared the Facebook memory from a month before I joined, and we literally, we were pretty private about our situation, but I put it out on Facebook that, I believe that God can answer prayers and that we need to give specifics. And so I listed the specifics on our Facebook page and just said, we're praying for an opportunity, that God will send us an opportunity or him a better job because, we've been through this struggle for 6 years and surgery after surgery. He's brought us too far to abandon us now. And when I shared that, because I don't even remember posting it, but when I shared that with him the other day and I posted it on our timeline, it was just like, wow, God very much did answer that prayer a month later. And it just blows my mind. But you can go ahead now.
Okay, now that y'all heard I'm going to tell y'all how it really happened. Now, she touched on some stuff. She did. She touched on and hit the high points. But I'm going to give y'all the in between, the nitty gritty, the stuff she don't want y'all to hear. All right. Okay, no. But seriously, it started back, our whole journey. It's funny because we did start in 2013, but our whole journey really started, and we didn't realize it, back in 2007 when I got injured on the job. I had 750 pounds worth of equipment fall on me at work. And I didn't die, which was a miracle in itself. The hole that the equipment put in the concrete was scary enough. But it did shatter my ankle, severely. So I'm going to go through all the time I was off, but 6 surgeries. It took 6 surgeries just to get me to where I was on 120 milligrams of Norco a day just to get through the day. And and that was my life. 6 years, that was my life. And, I went from working 80 hours a week to working, none and getting paid, 60% of 40 hours a week. And that's nothing even close, So it's like, what do you do but get depressed? And I did. I got depressed and I didn't want to do anything. Heck, I couldn't do anything. I had 2 little boys and at that point, and I couldn't be a daddy to them. I couldn't do the things that a father wanted to do. I couldn't get out and go play football with them, go chase them, hide and seek, go take them hunting, go take them fishing. I couldn't do none of that, And heck, when the accident happened, my oldest, he was only 2, so he didn't have any memories of me,
right?
Being the kind of dad that they go to school like, my dad can beat your dad up. They didn't have that. Mm-hmm. They couldn't see that.
Right.
So, yeah, that just really done a number on my ego. Plus, all that medicine I was taking made me probably the meanest and grouchiest person you're ever going to meet because I didn't care if I hurt your
There's
feelings.
There's a head nod from the wife. Yep.
Yeah, she's nodding. Yeah, because I didn't care if I made her cry. I didn't care if I cut her to the bone. It didn't matter to me. If I wasn't happy, nobody was going to be happy. I'd snap at the kids who didn't deserve it. It was just bad. And our marriage, it was rocky. It was bad. And I just didn't know what else to do. And I said, well, they ended up saying you need to go back to light duty. And I'm thinking, thank you, Jesus. At least I get to go back and get 40 hours now, right? So I called work and say, hey, they released me to light duty. And they said, we don't have light duty for you, and we filled your position. So and I said, so I'm fired? They go, no, you're not fired. We just don't have anything for you. So and then I get a call the next day from long-term disability. They said, hey, you're released to go back to work. We're not paying you anymore. So in 2 days, I went from I'm going to get income to you got nothing. And we're like, I got a 401k and a pension saved up, but I can't pull it out because I'm still in
that. Right.
So I had to send in a letter of resignation just so I could pull out that money to live on till I found something. And there was no way I could go back to the job working 80 hours a week standing up because I couldn't stand up. Mm-hmm. I was on crutches. I was on walking boot. Heck, I sat in a wheelchair if I could get one. So I'm like, we just didn't know what we were going to do. And that's when she said, you need to lose some weight. Because I got big. I got over 300 pounds. And I say over 300 because our scale only went to 300. It was digital. Gotcha. And it wouldn't read anything over 300. So when I stepped on it one day, it said, It ain't funny. It hurt my feelings. I mean, I'm sitting there, I step on it, and it goes, I'm like, this thing's broke. And she stepped on it, it weighed her. My son stepped on it, it weighed him. I said, hold on, I just wasn't standing on it right. You know them things are touchy. So I stand on it, it goes, I swear it made a noise. And I said, that's it, I'm done. I look on the back, and it says limit 300 pounds. I'm like, so I was 301. That's what I'm saying. I was 301. I don't know how big I was.
301.
Got it. In your head. I don't know how big I refused to go find a scale to find out how heavy because that was embarrassing. I didn't want to. Right? I was wearing 44-inch jeans, and I should have been in the 3X shirt, but I wasn't paying the $2 extra to buy one.
Gotcha.
So I had that taunt around the,
beer belly.
And I didn't even drink, and I had the beer belly. So I'm like, all right, then, that's fine, whatever. She said, you need to lose some weight because if you lose some weight, you might not, your joints won't hurt as much. So that's when the onslaught. That's when this beautiful, saintly woman sitting here at my side becomes evil incarnate, right? Because my only comfort was food. That was it. And she was taking it away from me. But she didn't do it right off the bat. She's smart. Well, conniving, whatever. Same thing. She started off with, let's take these little pills right here that's made from raspberries. Raspberry ketones. Anybody ever take those? Yeah, they're gonna cause your metabolism to increase and cut your appetite. No, they make your breath smell like raspberries when you burp. That's what they did. That's all they did. Because I was still wanting Little Debbie. Me and Little Debbie, we were close. All right. I like to say me and Little Debbie had an affair because we had a lot of late night rendezvous that she didn't know about.
Oh dear.
And they should change her name to Big Deborah. Anyway. But she decided that wasn't going to work, and we was going to do some HCG drops. You ever done them under your tongue?
No, I've heard of that.
Hold them there for like 3 days, or it says 30 minutes. I don't know, a while. And so what happened was then, but did y'all read the fine print on that diet? You can only eat 900 calories a day.
I heard that.
I'm like, why do you need the drops? If you eat 900 calories a day, you're going to lose weight. I ate that at breakfast, guys. Right. That was my breakfast. That's what I had. So that didn't work because I wasn't doing that. And so then she went.
No, and he couldn't keep his mouth shut long enough to absorb the flavors.
I mean, the stuff was
so shocking.
I know, right?
Y'all ain't right. I love y'all though, really.
Hey, seriously though, you gotta walk around for like 15, 20 minutes with it under your tongue.
You spit. That's just nasty. That's not a good thing. It didn't work. So then she said, okay, what was next? Was it the shake? No, it wasn't the shakes. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
Sweet Clean.
We'll get to that. It was the shakes. All right. She threw me at some shakes. Now these shakes tasted great. I ain't gonna lie. They tasted wonderful. The cookies and cream shake, and especially when you put the ice cream in it, really tastes good, right? But you're supposed to drink. I'm just saying, she wasn't looking. So you were supposed to drink one. She's supposed to drink one in the morning for breakfast, one in lunch, right, and then a sensible dinner. This wasn't Slim Fast. It was Shakeology or something like that.
It was Body by Vi.
Body by Vi. There it is.
Gotcha.
And but they were like laxative, basically. You just go to the bathroom a lot. But it didn't work if you drank the shake and ate breakfast. The shake and ate lunch. That's basically what I did. So that didn't work. Then she said, okay, a friend of mine is a real big fitness. She was a major fitness lady, and she followed her on Facebook, and she got this idea to eat clean. We're going to eat clean. Basically, who's done eating clean? Anybody in here has done the whole, I mean, when I say,
Whole 30? That's hard. I usually make it to lunch on Whole 30.
I mean,
it wasn't even Whole 30.
No,
it was like
this was like
paleo.
Yeah, that's paleo. Whole 30 is paleo.
Flavor.
It's hard.
Sticks in your oatmeal because it's whole oatmeal.
Especially when you've got a candida problem.
Yeah, we didn't even know about candida, but egg whites, which I don't care that's not right. Egg yolk needs to be there, and put spinach and make these quiches, and that's not even a manly word. So it's like, and nothing but water. Now I like water, and I can drink a lot of water. Even before Plexus, I drank a lot of water. But when you tell me, and this is the problem with diets, and everybody y'all know this is the problem with diets. When you tell me I can't have something, that's the one thing I want the most.
That's me, 100%.
Power,
100%.
So when she told me no more Dr. Pepper, and I had a Dr. Pepper problem, guys, it was bad. I drank a 12-pack a day plus two 44-ounce thing a day.
That is bad.
A day. That's a lot of Dr. Pepper.
Bad, David. Bad.
I didn't say I was good. This is my bad time. I haven't got to the good part yet. So
gotcha.
Fried apple pies and zingers for breakfast and on the way back home.
Reese peanut butter cups. That was another one. The big cups. You know what I'm talking about. The big cups, king size. You get 2 of them. I'd eat 3 of those a day. Plus my Dr. Pepper. Plus my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So y'all can see why I got big. Mm-hmm. But so she told me that. So that went 3 months. 3 months. We done eating clean. No flavor, no nothing, just water. Packing a cooler to town. Kids eating Taco Bell, and I'm sitting here crunching on some chicken jerky. I don't know. And it was like this, and I lost 7 pounds in 3 months.
And I gained weight.
She gained weight. I lost 7 pounds. She gained weight, and I was still hurting. And because I didn't have my comfort, I was horrible. Well, we sat down for breakfast one morning, and we had our pre-made egg white and spinach quiches and a bowl of oatmeal with no butter and no sugar in it and a glass of water. And I said, I want some cake or a divorce. It took her about 30 minutes of thinking, because I'm sure divorce sounded lovely at this point. And I'm not even joking. She really was like, But she said, fine, we're done. I'm ready to kill you anyway. And you're driving. So let's go to Walmart. So we went to Walmart, and let me tell you, I got on my scooter at the Walmart because I had to ride a scooter. And I drove over to the candy aisle, picked up a whole pack of Reese's, and then we went to the Little Debbie aisle. And I was a happy, happy, happy man. And then I gained 10 pounds. And that is when the scale stopped reading me. Mm-hmm. Okay. So a week and a half, 2 weeks later, she said, I signed up for Plexus. And I said, are you crazy? Because she was. Mm-hmm. And then that little packet came in the mail, and I laughed out loud at her face.
Yeah,
literally,
he literally shook it at
I
me.
was so upset, guys. Y'all don't know. I mean, when we said we were broke, we were broke. We had no money coming in. We had no money left. I mean, I called my mother up and said, look, we might have to move in with you. And she gave us money so we didn't have to move in with her.
That was the bar.
Like, here, just pay your bills. Here's some money. And I had 2 kids, and I'm like, I should not be taking money from my mother, right? I should be able as a husband and a father to be able to support my children and my wife. And so I was not happy whenever she bought this Plexus junk in my mind, right? So I drank it. I shook it up with a scour on my face. Like, yeah, this is going to do something, whatever. And when I tasted it, I'm like, well, at least it tasted good.
Right.
At least I can down this.
Right.
And it don't taste like seaweed or something. Mm-hmm. And then I went and sat down with a Little Debbie cookie in the recliner and turned on the TV, because that's where I lived, guys. That was my domain. And 30 minutes later, for the first time in 6 years, I felt like getting out of the recliner. And I didn't have nothing to do, so I went in and started washing the dishes.
Nice.
And when she walked in and saw me washing the dishes, I know what happened then. She's like, I don't care how much this costs. I don't care if we have to rob a bank. We're going to get more of this because he's washing the dishes. Because according to her, I haven't done that in years.
Right.
Not voluntarily.
Right.
And she tries to throw it under the bus. She's like, well, you were just loading a dishwasher. That's the same thing.
No, I mean, within 30 minutes to an hour, we were both, I don't know if it was a placebo effect.
That's what I thought. I thought it had, because we wanted it so bad.
We're like, oh no, we're buying into it too fast.
We just drank the Kool-Aid.
And I asked him, I was like, do you feel better? He was like, yeah, I feel great. I don't know what's going on, but let's give it a couple of days. And 3 days later, we really put it to the test. We decided that she's still got to share her story too.
I know.
I'm trying to
hurry it up. I'll keep talking.
We decided to put it to the test because we had not, for 6 years, we had not been able to do anything.
No.
Like, I mean, he couldn't take the trash out. He couldn't play with the kids outside. Like, I had to do all the chores, all the maintenance, like crawling. If there was a roof leak, I had to crawl up there and fix it. Like, he literally We didn't go to the grocery store. We didn't go, family vacations. We couldn't go anywhere because he couldn't walk or stand for more than 15 minutes. And the only place I could ever get him to go was Walmart because they had scooter.
And that was pride swallowing right there.
You go around and people look at you like, oh, what's wrong with you? He would always gripe and moan, bellyache. So we just didn't do that. So we decided we were going to go to our mall, our local
because I felt better
mall, and he'd been walking and not really having a lot of pain issues. So we decided to put it to the full test and, go to Chick-fil-A.
Because you got to go to the mall. There's Chick-fil-A. You got to go by Chick-fil-A.
We both had really suppressed appetite. We couldn't finish our meals.
No.
We didn't want anything sweet.
We didn't go by Great American Cook Company either.
We tried talking ourselves into it. We were just like, well, no, just can't.
Didn't want it.
And he walked that whole entire mall that day and came back home and
took ibuprofen.
Took some ibuprofen. He didn't. It's narcotics, so that was huge. He was taking 120 milligrams a day of Norco and
just sitting around the house.
That just to dull the pain. So for him to just be able to take some ibuprofen, I mean, that speaks volumes.
And I said, that's it. I'm in.
That was 3 days.
I signed up.
That night we came home, he signed up.
I took more borrowed electric bill money that I was ticked off to begin with. I said, I'm signing up. I love you, but I don't love you enough to share. Because we only got 1 month, and we were splitting it. I couldn't run out.
Right.
Couldn't run out.
So, and I always tell everybody too, like, especially people on my team, I started posting immediately. As soon as I joined, I started posting, testimonies and people that I knew that were having success with the products and that I was excited about the journey and what was to come and what we had to look forward to. And from that point, I just started, all I had was commission sales, just people going and purchasing because they knew me. They knew my integrity, they trusted me. They knew that I wasn't trying to bamboozle them or sucker them into something, that if I really believed in it, that they should too. And so I joined May 6th. So June 15th was my first payday. We had actually went to Disney. My mom had paid for our whole family to go on a Disney vacation because she wanted to see her grandkids experience it. And we had like $50 for souvenirs. That was it.
That was all our money.
So while we're there, everybody starts posting, I'm new. I still have no clue how we get paid. I don't know anything about the products other than just we're feeling good, feeling great. Just keep shipping it.
I walked Disney World 2 days and Universal Studios 2 days in a row, 1 month on the products, from not being able to do anything to walking the whole theme park 4 days straight.
But everybody started posting in the team page about financials posted and, I made this much, I made that much. And I was like, well, just for giggles, let's see.
And I said, look, we're going to Disney World. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to look at a negative bank account.
Right.
So I had him check the account and there was enough in there for us to pay our truck note.
That's amazing.
Flipped me out.
For not doing anything other than.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, just sharing, what we were experiencing, just the fact that, he was able to walk the mall and he was able to walk in Disney and like they were seeing this transformation because after 6 years of watching us suffer and how negative we were and how desperate we were for, God to heal him and just everything else, is like for all of a sudden for that transition to take place and people seeing that, wow, this is like, he's not in a walking boot anymore. He's not in a wheelchair anymore. Like there's something up with this. That's all we were doing. We had no idea how to build a business and he was my only ambassador. So the second month, while we were at Disney, we found out that we were going to have a baby, a plexus baby.
That wasn't supposed to happen. No, the doctor said that couldn't happen. She couldn't have any more children.
Yeah, I struggled with PCOS and fertility problems.
Wow.
And then after a medical trauma, after our second son was born, which we did fertility treatments with both our boys, is how we got pregnant with them. But I spent nearly 7 months in the hospital, 3 months on home health after that. And they had told me that I'd hit early menopause from the trauma, that I'd never have normal cycles. So my second month in, whenever I found out I was pregnant, I was like, Lord. But it's been, great. Like Mother Nature is a breeze now. I'll just say that.
Thank the Lord.
My moods are, so much better. I don't have all the menopausal symptoms, the night sweats, the headaches, the
mood swings.
Want to cry 1 minute, want to punch somebody in the face the next minute. It was way worse than mood swings. Like it was almost like.
It was like, y'all ever seen The Exorcist with the head going all the way around?
Bad.
It was bad. It was like have bail money ready kind of mood swing.
Right. Gotcha.
So, all of that started, changing, and we still look back 3 years later and we're constantly adding to our list of like, oh my gosh, we don't do this anymore. Oh my gosh, I don't have that anymore.
Has everybody in this chat made a hypochondriac list yet?
Yeah. We tell our team, make their hypochondriac list. Anything that's ever bothered you about your body or your
Make you feel horrible when you
or
make
you've got a mole or you've got this or that, whatever, make your list. Because 6 months, a year down the road, you're going to be listening to somebody's testimony and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't do that anymore. Or, oh my gosh, I don't have that anymore. It builds your testimony.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. I love that idea.
So the products absolutely changed our life, but the financial side was just the biggest blessing that we never.
Do y'all remember when we started talking like an hour ago? Why we got started in the first place was to get me back to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 3 years. I have yet to go back to work because I don't have to go back to work.
Right, because of finances.
Right?
Absolutely, I know.
Within 6 months, I had replaced his income from his old job, and within a year, I had doubled it.
Wow.
And that was just me. That wasn't even counting his. So his is extra, but and we're on the verge of being an Emerald team, and
yes,
to have a 6-figure income, I just never thought.
It's awesome, girl. I can't wait for you to have it. It's amazing.
So many people don't think that that's a possibility, and before Plexus, I never thought that would be a possibility for my life.
Yeah.
Just to have that financial freedom and to be able to change and have such an impact on other people's lives. I mean, you can only ever dream to have something that good.
We sat down and figured it up, or I sat down and figured it up, because we always wanted her to stay home with the kids. We always wanted her to be that mother who was with the kids, and that was really important to us. So I would, but the best job I have ever had and probably could ever get was the job that I got hurt on, and I was getting paid $23 an hour, and that a lot of people, that sounds like a lot of money, but truly, I could only make at the most bring home with that was like $45,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I was topped out. I was maxed out, and for us, that was incredible, right? And it was like 6-figure income never would have been possible,
right?
Or even fathom it. It's just, that is just not who we are, right? That's just not our lot in life. And so now, and it's now to be able to sit home and to watch your children grow, and to get to be there for every little thing. I got to be there for every doctor's visit for our baby girl. I got to watch her first steps. I got to watch her crawl. I got to hear her first word. I didn't have to see it in the video. I didn't have to see it in a picture. I didn't have to hear about it after I got in from work like I'd missed with my boys. And now the most used word out of that little baby girl's mouth is daddy. Right. And that is just like incredible. And to actually be able to do that and know that if it wasn't for her, and I will say that if it wasn't for her stepping out on that limb of faith and ignoring me being the
negative
turd that I was, that we never would be there. We'd still be struggling. I'd still don't know where we'd be.
And not only that, but the thousands of people's lives that have been changed because we said yes.
Right. That is the most humbling thing, guys. Let me tell you something. Whenever somebody messages you saying, hey, I watched your video, or hey, I read your testimony, and it gave me the final thing, I'm going to sign up now. Even if they don't sign up under you, don't be upset about that. Just know that life is being changed because you've done something that somebody else might have been scared to do, or heck, even a month prior, you were probably scared to do. And that person's going to have a life that's better than they ever thought it was going to be, or ever imagine it could be, because you said yes, you did something different, and
love that.
And it just,
I love that point. That's such a great point. Doesn't matter who they get it from, just get it from someone.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer. Like, I have a lot on my team, not a lot, but every once in a while the people will be just completely distraught. And I know you've gotten it too. Like, oh my gosh, I've worked so hard with this person and they signed up under somebody else. And I'm a firm believer that God sends who we need to us, in our journey. And, everybody connects with somebody for a certain reason. But to know that you played a part in them deciding to join, knowing that if you're not bitter about it and you're not ugly about it and you're advancing and you're building Plexus, it's going to come back.
Exactly.
It hurts sometimes.
What you give is going to come back.
It might sting a little, but don't worry about it. It's okay.
Don't ever let that be your breaking point to just be like, oh,
I can't do it no more. Nobody wants to sign under me. Somebody will.
It's totally worth it to keep.
Yeah. I love that testimony because I think the most important part that we need to all understand is these products work. We don't have to worry about if they work. We don't have to, my best friend was just in Arizona for the Jewels training. She just became an Emerald. Jennifer Lee, the Diamond Ambassador, said to the, the team there, she said, you don't have to pray for the products to work. You have to pray for people to take them consistently. These products work when taken. So, work with your people. You don't have to worry about all that. Just work on having them take the products consistently. That is the most important thing because they're the best products out there. My story is probably couldn't be any different than yours. It's so completely flipped opposite, but that's why I love this because, no matter what our journey is, we're all in the same place here and we're all riding the same crazy train. But I started, my friend from college was posting in her team group, and my team is probably like, all right, I've heard this before. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again. So she had like this testimony group, and she was putting me in there, and I kept removing myself because I thought she was crazy. And then on the third try, every time she put me in, she was like getting smaller, and she was happier, and everyone in the group was happy. And I was just at a place where I was a teacher at the time. I was really, really, really in credit card debt, and we had 2 kids in daycare, which in New York cost $2,000 a month. I was making 6 figures, but when you live 20 minutes outside of Manhattan, that money doesn't go very far. And when you add a $2,000 a month daycare bill on top of that, you're really in the red every month. But anyways, it was winter here in New York. It was cold. I was tired. I wanted to take a nap at 3 o'clock every day. And I just felt like that's just how moms feel. And this is just how I'm going to feel forever because I'm tired. I have 2 kids. Moms feel tired. So on the third try, she put me back in, and I'm like, I don't even care what this stuff does. Like, I don't care if my skin turns green. I'm taking it. Like, I just want to feel how she's feeling. And I started on a Sunday. By that Friday, I didn't want to take a nap at work. Like, at the lunch hour at school, I actually went back to work, like skipping down the hall, not exactly skipping, but like happily going back to finish my week. And I called her and I said to her, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so good. And she's like, I know, I told you. So I had no intentions on signing up for the business. I was a preferred customer, and I was actually doing another direct sales company. I was doing jewelry parties. And I loved it. I'm like, I don't want to, I'm not doing this. I'm a Leah Sophia girl. I'm not doing it. And then within a week's time, all I could do is think about all the people I knew that needed this product, all the people I knew that felt crappy, all the people I knew that no one in New York even heard of it, down where I lived. And I wanted to be the one to tell them because I felt like everyone should feel this way. So my 2 week, I was a customer for 2 weeks at this point, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I was so tired of teaching. I was so tired of doing jewelry parties on the weekend. My husband's a teacher too, so we were each working 4 jobs to make ends meet. I mean, each working 4 jobs total to make ends meet. So when you're gone all week and then you cry because Friday night you have to go do a jewelry party and you can't stay home with your family, it's pretty crappy. So it was actually such perfect timing for me because I was so sick of that. And I knew I could do this business at home and not have to go do parties and not miss out on Friday night pizza night with my family. So I signed up March 13th, 2014 and hit the ground running. Like, I ordered my welcome kit and started going around to different teachers in the hallway and telling them. And I got like 3 customers before I left school that day. So, and I just wanted to tell people. So I just kept going and going, posting on Facebook, and things were just amazing. Funny, you talk about your first paycheck. You were in Disney. I was in Atlantic City. for my friend's 40th birthday, right? And this money gets deposited. It was April 15th. It was tax day. It was her 40th birthday, and it gets in my checking account, and I'm like, I can't tell my husband this. He'll take it to like the roulette table or something. So it was $1,400, and I worked for 2 weeks.
Holy crap!
So
Ow!
I'll tell you, I hit the ground running because
Woo!
it sounds crazy, but I was someone who believed in network marketing. I was someone who knew it was my gift, and I was good at it, but I didn't have the right company at the time. I didn't have the right products, and I didn't have the right compensation plan. So while I was a customer, I was researching this compensation plan because I was a compensation plan stalker, and I knew what every company's compensation plan is. And I started reading about this, and I'm like, there's nothing else like this out there. Like, I've never seen anything like this. I don't even know what these pay points are, but I know I want them.
I want them.
Yeah, you want them. So I signed up with loving the products, but with a business mind. And I went for it, you know. So, you know, it went really fast. I went Emerald in 6 months, and it was right before Leaders Retreat. So that Orlando one we were talking about earlier, I hit Emerald that September, and I remember being at Orlando with my husband. We were at the pool, and I said, this is going to be my last year teaching if this goes well. And he said, okay, let's do it. And I waited till February. I put in my resignation in February, but finished the school year in June, and didn't have to go back to work in September. Thank God, because I had to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And for me, like, you know, if I loved my job, if I loved teaching, I could have done both. Like, it would have been hard, but it probably would have been like crazy, really crazy, but I could have done it. But my job made me so miserable. And when you hate your job that much, and it's not the kids, it's everything else about the job, you bring it home to your family, and you're not being your best you. You're not your best version of yourself. So when I was able to resign, I felt like I got me back. And I was able to start in September as me, like as the person I always wanted to be, you know. So here I am now, you know, just went diamond in February thanks to my amazing team. And I don't know, it's just like sometimes I really just have to. I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and I was chatting with my best friend, and I'm like, I feel like I could cry. And she's like, why? I'm like, I can't believe my life. Like, I can't believe I had $24,000 in credit card debt, and it wasn't because I lived a flashy lifestyle. I literally wear like one pair of shoes for a whole season. Like, I had the same purse for 3 years. I am not fancy. It was because I had to put siding, a roof, windows in my house that was falling down at the time. And stupidly, we put it on a credit card instead of taking out probably a loan that wasn't 16.5%. But I just paid that off last month. I mean, and to know how freeing that is, and I actually paid them too much. They owe me $11.28. But to be able to like watch your savings account grow, and my goal is I just want this financial wall around my family so we don't ever have to worry. And we can do this. And I don't know. So I want to ask you, like, what can you tell people that are afraid, like, fear is holding them back? They're afraid to share Plexus, either the business or the product side, because we know it works and we could shout it from anywhere. What do you tell people who are afraid?
Okay. I was actually thinking about this subject for the past like week or so, and I was probably going to do a live or video on it anyway, about being scared about what other people are going to say, what other people are going to think whenever you tell them what you're doing. And honestly, this might sound a little mean, but honestly,
New Yorkers can handle anything. Just say it.
Their opinion doesn't matter at all. It's not their life. It's not their bill. They're not coming into your house paying your bills for you. So whatever they say doesn't matter at all. As long as you can hold your head high and say that you've done the best you can do and worked as hard as you possibly can to achieve what you achieved, no matter how you achieved it. If you're doing it ethically and you're doing it with the right mindset and the right heart about it, and you just genuinely want to see other people blessed like you, then they can say every mean thing they want to say, because I guarantee you 2 years from now, 3 years from now, they're going to be saying, hey, how can I get started?
Yeah, when you're paying off $24,000 worth of credit card debt.
So it just stop being scared of what other people say. All that matters is how you can look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and say that that I did this, and I did this with a clear and right heart.
And you do it because you care.
Yes.
We're sharing this business. Like, if you truly, truly want to grow an amazing organization, you share this business because you want to see other people succeed. It's never really like, I don't know, it sounds crazy, but when I hit Emerald and it was like, oh, gee, that's over. But when my best friend hit Emerald, I was like, yeah, like there's nothing better than seeing people on your team feel successful and to earn that life-changing paycheck. And I made a video for my, team this morning, the Gold and Above and group. And I said, like, it's not about like your rank. It's not about like you hitting Ruby or whatever. It's about the financial freedom that comes with that. Like, it could really change. It changes your life. I mean, my life is completely, completely different,
I'm a worst case scenario person. I tell everybody, you literally have nothing to lose except for $34.95. You want to try the products anyways. Join as an ambassador and have the possibility to turn it into a financial blessing, because that I joined strictly because that was the only way we could afford the products. Had no intention of working the business. It just kind of fell in our lap. But if somebody would have told me 3 years ago that we would be where we're at, I would have told them they're crazy. What are you smoking? Like, literally. But, I'm a worst case scenario person. When I have people that tell me that, like we just had a lady that just joined. She's been in 3 or 4 other companies, been severely burned, not found the right compensation plan or the right products or both. And she was very skeptical. And I just told her, I said, pray about it. And I said, and just, search your heart and just see where you're being led. I said, because I feel like you've been brought to us for a reason, for one. I was like, but you literally have nothing to lose except for $34.95. And I guarantee you, you can go below $34 really quick.
Exactly.
So why not? I mean, if you join and you decide 2 days later, a day later, 5 minutes later, there's nothing else that you have to do. Like, that's it. You can be done.
Like, it's about you think that you're crazy, but yeah, you can quit anytime.
Yeah, we're not going to tattoo you. We're not going to haze you, or we're not going to send you a bill every month.
You don't owe us your firstborn child.
Right. We don't even really want your firstborn child.
No, we just want you to succeed.
Our firstborn's a peach. He's awesome. Everybody wants him. He's working.
So, I mean, that's more of the approach I tell everybody. If they're scared, just do it. Just do it. And once you get it, you're going to love it. You're going to see what we're talking about. I said, because I can sit here till I'm blue in the face telling you about how great it is and how awesome it is and how what we're doing this and doing that. But until you experience it, you truly do not know.
Exactly.
Has anybody on here ever made this statement? Man, when I win the lottery, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do. Right. Anybody in here ever said when I win the lottery?
We used to sit around and
just dream about what we're gonna do when we win the lottery. And it was like probably our start of our second year. We were driving down the road and we looked up and we saw a lottery sign and we're like, holy crap, you realize we haven't said that? We haven't even thought about winning the lottery.
Me neither.
It's like we won the lottery.
Every month on the 15th or sometimes the 14th or 13th. Like,
and people are like, you didn't win the lottery. I'm like, do you get paid for doing nothing? I mean, we don't do nothing. Right. But you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't feel like work. That's why you feel like you're doing nothing, because it doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't.
Yeah. So like the dreams that you have of, like buying or paying your parents' mortgage or, doing this or giving back or, paying this off or paying that off. Those are things that are happening. It started happening within our first year and then our second year, and now we're in our third year, and it's like it just keeps getting better and better and better.
I told her, I said, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I don't know why this is like one of my biggest dreams, but whenever I hit Emerald, my first Emerald check is going to purchase a very, very good used car. Like, somebody's going to wake up one morning with a car in their driveway.
How cool is that?
I don't know who it's going to be. Right. I'm going to do a lot. I'm going to find a deserving person who's working, and I'm just going to wake up with a clear title car in the driveway. Something that I just can't wait to do. And I'm
isn't that exciting? I love that. So what would you say? Now we have a new week, a new month. On my team, our last 2 weeks were a little, but it's fresh. Like, what would you say? Like, to start off a new month, what would you tell every ambassador? Like, new month, get excited. The excitement comes from you. Like, we can't get excited for you. But to sit down, like, where do they start working? What would you say? Like, May 1st, you're going to do this month. What are you going to do?
Well, my advice to everybody.
We're doing IPA challenges,
Yes.
like really hitting home. We were not.
I think you just
we
won my
missed
heart
so
for the
much.
rest of my life when you said IPA challenges, because that's what it's about. Like, we have to continue, and I'm sorry I let you finish, signing and sponsoring every month.
I think we get caught up in this, and I know I did too, because I was a self-starter. I pretty much learned and trained myself and just kind of started rolling the ball. And then, now I'm having to go back and learn so much because, I want to take it to the next level. I want my team to have tremendous success. And, Plexus is at this point where it is just, crazy, insane momentum. And I don't want my team sitting here kind of like, okay, well, we're not having the success that other people are having. And it takes intense, purposeful action every day.
Every day.
And that's what I think IPA really stands for. Everybody says income producing activities, but I say intense, purposeful action. Because if you are not, I do it too. I get on Facebook, I'll scroll. And I'll be saying who's divorcing.
I'm working.
Who's getting fired, who hates their job, whatever. And like, oh, they're sick. Let me go in here and comment or message them. That's not IPAs. IPAs, you've got to be purposely looking for new people to share with every day. If you're contacting 2 to 5 people a day and reaching out on your, just not even your list, but people that you met at Chick-fil-A that you friend requested, or people you gave a sample to or whatever. And then you need to be, I got stuck in this management mode for so long, like, trying to help my team advance. I was still adding people, but I was focusing on trying to, what can I post in my team page today, or what can I teach my people today? And it's like, they learn by seeing me do. And
I feel like I just want to hug you right now. Like, that's exactly what I've been talking about, and that's exactly what everyone needs to hear, and especially my team, because I've been saying it for the last 3 days to my leaders, and I'm like, now I don't feel like I'm crazy because it came from someone else. It's so true.
Since January, we've hit the ground running because, we had kind of gotten to a point where I'd actually fallen a little bit below Senior Ruby, and I would gain a little bit. I don't know. I use this analogy with my team, like, I don't know how poor any of y'all ever were, but the only kind of pool we could ever afford was, like a above ground pool, little one. And we used to play this game with our kids, our, friends, whatever. They would come over and we would all swim in one direction and like get the current going really, 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 really strong. We called it the toilet bowl. I don't know why. And it was this thing like, okay, after we got the current going really good, like we would all stand up and literally try to turn around and face that. And it would just sweep us away. Like we could not walk into it. And that's, once you lose momentum and you stop doing the IPAs and your team stops recruiting and stops, connecting and building relationships and things like that, it's literally like standing up against that current and swimming against the current. It is almost impossible to get that momentum and start going back the opposite direction. But it is possible. And I can tell y'all, my points have grown like almost 500 points just since January.
Awesome.
Whereas for the past 2 years, we have not moved at all.
Right.
And it's
you attribute it to you doing the work yourself and showing the way.
And getting our team excited and getting them to do the activities and holding them accountable and pouring into them in a way that we never done before, like doing these Sunday night inspirational calls for them to hear it. Because, we talk about 3-way calls all the time, being validation. These are what we use for our three-way calls for our team. They hear it from us all the time. But I think it's important for us to use other people that have been in it longer or have better success or, had a different story or whatever to pour into our team so that because you can say the same thing I've been saying and they'll just be like, oh my gosh, Erin said that on that call.
Like, I've been telling you that for 3 years.
Just implementing that has helped our team so much. And it just, I'm excited, beyond excited.
I just love everything about what you just said so much. So thank you for saying that. It was perfect.
I've actually come up with the perfect.
We didn't even plan that, guys. I just want to tell you that. We didn't plan that. For the people on my team that think we did.
We didn't.
No,
No.
we literally had no clue what we were going to talk
Yeah,
about.
we were like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know.
But guys, I have come up with it just kind of hit me in the past, week or so, the perfect way to spot your perfect next ambassador when you're in town. Because when you start looking at people, you think, okay, I don't know if I should approach them or not. Or, I don't know. There's actually a formula that you can follow that I have devised that will help you find the perfect ambassador. Now, take notes on this. This is serious stuff. You're shaking your head.
Because I don't know what you're going to say.
Okay, now when you're in town and you see someone and you think they need these products, there's a simple checklist to do to make sure you approach them or not. Okay? The first things first, are they human?
Check.
If they're human, check it off. Second one, are they breathing?
Check.
Yes. Go give them a card and a pamphlet. Get the job done. That's all you got to do. Open your mouth and say, hey, I got something for you. It's awesome. Open your mouth and just say hi. Believe it or not, saying hi and smiling goes a lot further than anything else you're going to see. Don't be scared to talk to new people.
And don't just share your Plexus stuff.
Share your life.
Share your life and build the relationships. Because I know my first year, all I did was puke Plexus. Like, I wore my Plexus t-shirt, my Plexus hat, had samples, and it was like, as soon as they opened their mouth, like, hey, how are you?
Plexus!
Have you heard about Plexus? Like, now, I let it come up in conversation.
Right. And I'm telling you, when people love you and trust you, they're going to whine and complain to you. Because, and then the second that they whine and complain to you, we have the best thing to offer them, whether it's financial, wealth, or health, health, weight, wealth, or wealth.
Wellness.
Yeah. I can't even talk.
It's the try.
Well, and I tell my team and my, customers and, ones that I'm talking to, potentials, they're like, okay, well, how is this any different than any other company? And I tell them, you're basically comparing apples and oranges because not knocking any other opportunities, or I know there are other great companies out there, but whenever it comes to jewelry, candles, Tupperware, makeup, it literally cannot save somebody's life.
Exactly.
And I know that we have to be careful in how we say that, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, Plexus saved our marriage. It saved our life. It's built our financial dream to where we never thought it could be. So, it's literally life-changing. And I think sometimes people use that phrase a little too loosely because candles are not life-changing. I'm sorry.
They smell good.
Tupperware, I still have Tupperware from probably the 60, 70 years old from my grandma, but it's still not changing my life.
And I really want to say, too, like, how we think on a daily basis directs our actions. And if you say over and over, I can't find any new people, my team isn't growing, I've contacted everyone says no, then that is going to be what happens to your business. If you wake up with the mindset of, I am doing this, I am finding people, these people need me, these people need this business, like, you have to put the positive out there. It's physiological. Like, it really changes everything about your mind and your brain and your day. And, when you wake up negative things are going to happen and nothing good is going to happen. When we sit back and point fingers and blame people and blame the products and blame the company and blame customer service and blame shipping, that doesn't grow a business. When you set out to change someone's life because you know that this could better their life, that's what's going to grow your business.
We're doing the what to say when you speak to yourself.
Yeah, I need to get that book. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it.
It is right on track for everything you're saying. It's scientifically proven that 77% of everything that our actions and our thoughts affect what our body and our mind and everything we tell ourselves. And it talks about just simple things like getting up, or when you have a bad day, just being like, well, this just isn't my day, or Southerners are notorious for it, like, oh my gosh, I'm dying over here, like just horrible, negative, stinking thinking, and you don't think about it. It's just, but one of the things, I think it was Helen McFadden that said it on one of the book videos that I saw, is what made me decide to do it with our team was, start every morning with an attitude of gratitude for, the fact that you get to do Plexus. You don't have to do Plexus.
Love that.
And when she said that, I was just
entitled to anything.
that was like the best thing that I've started my month with this month is, you know, teaching my team when you first wake up in the morning, before you pick up your phone, before you, you know, do anything, you know, start your day with the attitude of gratitude, you know, talk about how great your day is going to be, and, you know, that you're going to purposefully, you know, intensely seek people that need the opportunity or need the products or both. And it's just,
it's so true. And like, just a silly side story. And I called my friend today because like I came to like an epiphany. And it, like a couple weeks ago, my kids were like nonstop fighting. They were real pains in the butt. It wasn't enjoyable. Like I wanted them to stay at school longer because they were so obnoxious. But it's because like I had that feeling towards them. I kept saying, why are you guys always fighting? Why don't you listen to me? Why aren't you kind to each other? When I change my language that I use towards them, you two are beautiful kids. You have kind hearts. You're amazing brother. I swear I did this 2 weeks ago. They are like angelic. It's like they're living right now to make me happy. And it's my whole household is like in sync right now. So I thought like, you know what? We have to start talking to our teams that way, you know? And we can't sit back and like say, oh, you're not moving. You're not. We have to say, you are amazing. You are an amazing ambassador. You're an amazing leader. And you guys have to feel it yourself every day. You have to know that you're amazing. And I told this to my group, like, your points don't make, you know, whether you went up or down in your points, that doesn't mean you're a good or bad person. That just means some people quit and you didn't sign more people. That's all. So, you know, really having that right frame of mind every single day is going to dictate your organization, truly.
Yeah, there's life and death in the power of the tongue, guys.
Yeah.
That the words can cut through someone, or they can strengthen them. It's hard sometimes when you let your emotions, because let's face it, what we do is a very emotional business. We get so personally attached to our story because they're our stories. And we see people like, we know what this can do for this person, that it's hard not to let that be the driving force of how you speak to people, when we have to somewhat separate ourselves from that, our passion, and look for the right thing to say instead of the thing that felt right at the time. Right. Because sometimes you just want, I know I do, want to tell some people off because, you know, just.
I never feel that way ever.
No. I'm the only one in the room. And it feels like that right now, I'm sure. What are you doing?
Sorry,
she is clicking stuff, and I don't know.
I was trying to check out the chat, the messages.
I know.
But no, I think, you know, I think that was one of the questions somebody was asking about, how to change that mindset. In the book, if y'all haven't gotten it, the What to Say When You Speak to Yourself, it's like a $6 or $7 book at Barnes and Noble.
Every penny.
I mean, it is so good. We're only in like the first 2 chapters, and it just talks about reprogramming yourself and, you know, just simple things that you've been taught from early on. You know, my dad, neither one of my parents graduated from high school. They both had to get, or my mom got a GED. My dad never did. My dad was a blue collar guy his whole life. And, you know, he never went to college. He just went straight into the work field and, you know, literally was just fine where he was. And I'm the oldest of 5. And he told me, and my brothers all, that, you know, my kids, or I'm a blue collar guy. I've always, you know, been poor. All my kids are going to live that same life because that's all we'll ever be. That is somebody putting their beliefs and their limited belief on you. And, you know, just hearing things like that growing up as a kid, you know, I could easily use that as an excuse and just be like, you know what, my dad was poor, my family was poor, you know, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, so guess what, he's right, I'm not. But I want better than that. I want to live a life that he didn't have. I want to pursue something and chase a dream. I don't care what people think. You know, worst thing that can happen is it doesn't pan out. But I would rather know that I tried than not trying. But you've got to start giving, literally, physically. This is what we talked about this first Zoom call that we did with our book club, was literally taking and bottling up or packaging up that limited belief that somebody has placed on you, and physically imagine giving that back to them and saying, you know what, that's your belief. I'm sorry that you believe that, but that is not my life. That is not what I want for my life. So you can have that back. and start pursuing and doing daily activity and things and speaking positively about your life, like you were saying,
Out
your
loud.
kids, your marriage, your finances, your
Put
business.
Post-it notes all over your bathroom mirrors.
Yes.
I'm an amazing woman. I'm an amazing mother. I'm an amazing teacher.
There's
I
stuff
love
everywhere.
whatever read them. And I want to real quick, before, I got asked to do Super Saturday in Dallas, and I was scared out of my mind.
We wanted to come.
I know. I never wanted to do public speaking. I never wanted to but when they asked me, of course I'm going to say yes. And I knew the content, the material, that's not, it was getting up in front of 2,000 people, and Dallas is very jewel heavy, and I was very intimidated. So literally from when I found out in October till the morning of, I got up every day, and I didn't believe it when I started. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are fun. And I literally said those 3 things to myself every single day until that morning of Super Saturday. And I just said, go be awesome, go be amazing, just be fun. And, it worked out pretty well. We had a great time. We got great feedback. And it could be something I love that visual you just said, give that opinion back to that person. Or it could be something you just tell yourself 3 great things about yourself every morning.
Yep.
And if you don't believe them at first, you will believe it eventually.
Yeah. I challenge everybody to speak their positive affirmations about everything 5 times a day out loud.
Out loud.
In the shower, when you're driving down the road, turn the radio off and just say, my big thing right now is I want to be an Emerald at convention. So, May 31st, I will be at a convention Emerald. Our finances are blessed, and we don't struggle to, pay things. And, we have the fastest growing team in Plexus, and
yeah.
I got to dance.
Just things like that. Speaking those every day, 5 times a day, it will change your life. It'll change your business, change your marriage, your family, everything.
Absolutely. Awesome. I love that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be on, and I love this. I love the powwow together. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for asking me. I was so humbled. I'm they're so cool. I'm not even that cool,
Hey, that's recorded. She said I was cool.
Nobody even knows.
I'm talking about your wife.
They know him, and that's it.
No, what's funny though, seriously though, really, this is what's hilarious. All right, when we first started this whole thing, I actually had people come to me, "Oh, you're Candy's husband, right?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm Mr. Candy Strahan." Yes.
Then I talked him into doing a video.
Because he taught me so why don't you start doing videos since you can't? Because I'm always asking her how to spell things, and she's like, I said, how do you spell cat? And she's like, seriously? I'm serious. So she's like, why don't you just do a video and be done with it? So I did. And then people were coming up going, hey, it's that Plexus guy's wife. I'm like, oh, that was awesome.
That's so funny.
It was awesome.
And let's have an amazing month. Get out there, be bold, be excited, be passionate, have that fire in your belly. Write your goals down, for crying out loud. Everyone needs to write their goals down every single month and have your plan set in place. You can't just have goals without a plan. So what are you going to do, and how are you going to do it? So
I like to say that people like to say a failure is not an option. I don't like that saying. I don't like it at all, because failure is an option. You could fail. The sooner you accept the fact that failure is an option is the sooner you can plan accordingly to avoid that failure.
Nice. I love that.
So failure is an option. Plan around it.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Okay, so I have a question for you real quick before we go.
Yeah.
I've got a few of my team on that made it in before the 50, but
the 50.
so we're pushing for Emerald for our team. What would you say were your biggest, what would you say would be the best things for us to do this month to focus on making that happen?
Where should we focus the push?
Other than the IPA.
Not just to reach Emerald, but to reach rank. If you're just really dying for rank,
where should you focus the push? I mean, getting new people engaged in team groups and getting them excited to make their first post and have a little, so that they become commission qualified. The welcome pack doesn't commission qualify them. So if they just get one customer or order samples and get them excited about their business and just start posting on Facebook and they become commission qualified, if you have the people, they're there. If not, you have to add them this month. So next month they'll be active, But just to get people excited, I say this all the people join because they love the products, but they stay because they feel connected and loved. And that is so important that we make people know that whether you're a wholesale ambassador or you're a business ambassador, everyone's important and everyone has a role on this team. So we need to make sure people know that.
I like that.
Yep.
I'm so smart.
And we definitely have the people. We have more than enough people.
One thing, just an option too, we could chat another time, but you could always do a get active early, incentive. I don't know.
I always felt getting your team to commission qualify before
The 15th.
the 15th.
Like, how about day one?
I agree.
I think the pace of how you start the month is how, establishes the rest of your month. So if you start strong, you'll finish strong.
Yeah, especially when sometimes those auto ships don't go off. So it's get that product ordered early.
Yes. All righty. Well,
All the chats, man. There's chat stuff going on. I mean, that's new for us. I don't know.
I'm going to put this on YouTube and send it to you guys so you could post it in your group if people weren't able to get on.
Awesome.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to do that tomorrow because, it's 10 o'clock here. It's way past my bedtime.
Yeah, you got to go to bed with the chickens. We know.
I'll be up at 5 if you want to chat.
No, I forgot that came twice in one day.
Well, thank you so much for asking me. I was so humbled and honored, and I can't wait to see you guys at convention.
Thank you.
We weren't going to open up real quick for any questions, I guess not.
No, totally. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, you got to go to bed. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Does anybody have any questions? Because any of my team want to ask the high demand Aaron something?
Yeah, please.
I'm just saying. No?
You can use the chat.
Yeah, someone just asked if I could post it on our team group. Of course, I can post it in our team group.
All right.
Yeah, so What to Say When You Speak to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter.
I don't know. I just know the title of the
I
book.
think it's over there by the bed.
Oh, okay.
That's part of personal growth. Like, we need to always be growing ourselves personally.
That is an easy read. It's just a paperback book. It's not, it's really, you could probably sit down and read it in one night. It's that easy and good, but I highly recommend it.
Awesome.
Sonia Dudley has the videos. I think somebody asked about the videos.
Yeah, I have them saved somewhere.
Yeah, her and Helen McFadden done the book study or the book club, and it's what set it off for me. I wanted to do it, but y'all can look her up on YouTube.
Sonia who? Who's that?
Yeah, right? Well, that's somebody wrote a paragraph one.
Yes, Kristen.
Okay.
Elevator speech.
Yeah, elevator. I don't have an elevator speech. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's hard for me just to talk 20 to 30 seconds.
What a shock.
Right? I usually get off if I'm on an elevator and they ask, I usually follow them on their floor and then go back to the elevator whenever I'm done.
I love it.
Give them that stalker vibe.
Look, you're making her feel bad about her paragraph.
No,
I just can't read that fast.
Look, you can relate to her. I get going and I can't stop, just like you, David.
Yep.
See, it's a good thing.
The biggest thing I've had success with is just making them feel like they are missing out when they're like, I ask them, well, have you heard about Plexus? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you haven't heard about Plexus? Like, it is the bomb, And
then if they start trying to act like that's not for them, I try to make them feel stupid. No, I don't do that. You just stupid for not wanting to get involved is all it is to it.
But I always lead with my testimony and just talk about, it's this amazing company that has just restored my family's health and blessed us so much financially and allows me to be able to be at home with our kids. And, my husband's not suffering with pain issues anymore. And they're usually like, whoa. And
the whole time you're talking, shake your head yes. I ain't joking. Shake it yes. Because they're going to start doing that too. Like, yeah? Yeah?
Right. Okay.
They're all over you. So.
Follow the leader, right?
That's right.
But most of the time most people can relate to either not to want to be their own boss, be a stay-at-home mom, or, not suffering with health issues anymore. So you got them.
Right.
So.
And if you ask somebody too, if they like, if you go to a restaurant or something or anywhere you work, and say, so you having a good day? Most of the time they're going to say no. Like, oh, you hate your job, huh?
Got him there.
Just ask them how their day's going.
Anyone feel better.
If they're working, 99% of the time they're going to be like, this is horrible. I want to go home. And you can just they're giving you permission all day long.
Oh, and I think I've got a few friend requests since we've been on, and I'm not sure if any of y'all are sending friend requests, but the best thing to do is to follow me because I've got like probably 500 friend requests, and it's hard to filter through.
I got 2.
I'm at like 2,500 friends, so
Yeah, I know.
I'm not Mr. Popular over here at 5,000, but
I ain't got 5,000.
I don't think we're friends, Candy. You're
Huh?
good. I don't think we're Facebook friends, but we need to be.
yeah, we'll fix that. But definitely follow us because we keep all of our posts public, and you can still message us and contact us and everything. And I would love to connect with y'all.
And I have been trying to get Plexus people to, instead of sending me a friend request, I mean, not that I won't accept it, I will, but I have a likes page.
Mm-hmm.
I do most of my, and I usually share from my likes page onto my personal page. And,
Gotcha.
Follow you.
or they can follow me. I want
Facebook
my likes page to have higher numbers. I'm not gonna lie. It'll be like 10,000 people.
All right, well, we let Aaron get to bed.
I'm sorry, Aaron. You need
Don't
to
be sorry. Thank you guys for loving on my team and giving that great insight on how to get going this month and in general. So, and I can't wait to see you be a sparkly green emerald.
right.
Y'all pray big.
Pray hard.
Well,
Yeah, but thank y'all all for being on. It's great to see y'all.
Great.
right. Have a good night, guys.
Y'all too.